I think it's important, especially for parents watching right now, to understand that your kids, you keep praying for them, and don't get discouraged if you see them kind of veer off path, especially in their teen years, because teenagers don't tell them this, but they think they know everything, but they don't.
Oh, absolutely.
But you keep praying for them and truly surrender them to the Lord. That's so important. And you think, well, John and Lisa Bevere's oldest son, surely he did not veer off path, you know. But, I mean, you had to find God for yourself and have your own intimate relationship with him.
Yeah, I mean, I remember one time I made a teacher cry. I took the whole period just arguing with this teacher. I was a terrible, terrible human being. I was such a know-it-all. I was so bad.
Addison!
Seriously.
I didn't even know this.
Seriously, I was bad. Like, you could talk to my mom. I was so disrespectful.
She only says glowing things about you. So.
I mean, thankfully it was a short season. It was a short season,
and it was
but
in
it was a very...
This is giving hope to a lot of moms out there.
Hey, I'm just being real because was, you know, it was intense, and I thought I knew everything. I really did. And my poor mom, like, she was so patient with me, and my dad was traveling a lot. And my mom, I lost respect for my mom because I was like, well, I'm the man of the house now. Like, it's just weird. Like, I look back and I'm like, what was I thinking? But my mom did this so beautifully. She would never stop speaking to who I was. What she could see.
So important.
And that's what faith does. Faith doesn't just see you as you are, it sees you as you will be. And it speaks to that. I mean, that's what God does with us. And she modeled that so beautifully with me. And that's why, I mean, my mom would say this, she's on there. I'm very close to my mom. I call myself my mom's favorite all the time. And she walked that out with me, and she allowed me to ask questions. She allowed me to have hard conversations, but she never stopped being resolute in her beliefs. And there were certain things like she just wouldn't let me do.
I remember, and y'all remember Marilyn Hickey sitting at the table talking about Sarah. And there she is at ORU, you know. Oral Roberts.
It's me at ORU.
Yes. And Sarah comes back and tells her, Marilyn Hickey, you know, one of the world's greatest Bible teachers, that she doesn't believe in Jesus, that, you know, and she's studying all these Eastern religions. And Marilyn just reaches over and said, well, honey, that is wonderful. She said, you know, at the end of this search, when you find the truth and realize that Jesus is who he says he is, she said, you're going to be stronger than ever and you'll be able to, I mean, always
that's exactly what happened to me. So I'm not afraid of hard conversations with people. And I honestly, I hate the approach to apologetics. It's like, hey, let's sit here and let's argue.
I know.
Let's go head to head. I hate that. So with apologetics, and I do this in the book, I'm not trying to speak to your head. I'm trying to speak to your heart. Because your head has all of these barriers, all these safeguards, but there's a priori. It's stuff that's written in the fabric of your being. That stuff, if I can speak to that, if I can awaken, as it says in Ecclesiastes 3:11, the eternity that was written on your heart, if I can speak to that, then I'm going to bypass all your safeguards.
I think that's so important for people to hear, just the moms and dads that are praying and they're not seeing anything. I was at a Joyce Meyer conference a few months ago, and she said something like this. I'm going to get it wrong. She said, I used to think my kids were never going to make it. And she said, but then they grew up and they made it, and they went through a lot of hard times. And I just think it's so important that we as moms and dads, we speak to Jensen said, speak to the king in our kids, speak to the queen. So if you speak to the fool's going to rise up. If you speak to that king or queen, they're going to rise up. So I just hope and pray that people that are watching right now just don't give up on their just keep praying.